Yes, sir.
Okay, is the screen audible? Sorry, visible? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
So we had just tried to analyze what is the crystalline structure of doped silicon last day. There we have stopped. Today we will be moving into the device operation. And we had already a figure drawn in our last class. Let's just find it. Yes. Everyone can see this figure? The three-layered structure of MOS transistor. Yes, everyone can see it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here we find the gate layer at the top. In the intermediate portion, there is the insulating oxide layer, and below that is the semiconductor. So there are several sublayers within the semiconductor. The platform is of N-type silicon, and there are two P-plus type regions. Now, what are N-type and what are P-plus type has been already elaborated in our last lecture. And what we need to do is we'll try to analyze how this works. So, if you connect the battery polarity across the gate and the source, if you connect the battery polarity, So if you connect a battery with respect to the gate terminal and the source terminal in such a way that you are providing a negative electrode along with the gate and a positive electrode with that of the source, then this kind of potential connectivity will create an electric field perpendicular to this gate layer. So the electric field which is perpendicular to this gate layer ultimately attracts positive ions from the n-type substrate towards this opening. So what happens? Say okay. So if you connect here a battery source, here it is positive and negative electrode. With respect to the gate and source, this is positive electrode, negative electrode. It will create an electric field perpendicular. The electric field will be created in a perpendicular direction with that from the gate terminal towards this channel. And this will ultimately attract positive carrier or holes to this end of the surface, to the surface nearer to the oxide layer. Here there will be positive ions from the insulating region towards the oxide metal interface, and in the opposite direction there will be free electrons accumulating. Now mind it, within the oxide layer, the overall free positive charges and the free electrons will ultimately neutralize itself, and so it is an insulating layer. But the alignment of positive charges will be towards the metal oxide interfacial junction, and the alignment of free electrons will be towards the semiconductor oxide interface. So this happens due to this creation of electric field perpendicular to that of the channel. Which is the channel? This portion is termed as the channel. This portion is termed as the channel. The gap between two P plus regions. So the electric field will be perpendicular to that of the channel, and due to this electric field, there will be positive charges from the oxide layer moving towards the metal oxide junction, and free electrons repulsion will take place of the free electrons, which will move towards the oxide semiconductor junction. Now these free electrons moving towards the oxide semiconductor junction will attract holes from different parts of n-type substrate towards this channel interface, towards this region. Now you increase this potential value, you increase this gate to source potential value, higher will be this electric field intensity. So this intensity will increase, and higher will be the density of these induced positive charges within the channel. Why these are positive charges? Because holes are attracted over here, and holes means deficiency of electrons. Deficiency of electrons means deficiency of negative charges. So of course that will be the opposite, that is the positive charges, we can say. So higher value of VGS. Which is VGS? This potential is called VGS potential, VGS, voltage gate to source. Higher will be the VGS value, higher shall be the intensity of electric field. This will result in higher density positive carriers within the channel. Within the channel. Now, what is the channel? Channel means the gap between the source and drain region. So channel means the gap between the source and drain region. So this is the source, right? This is the source region and this is the drain region as per our consideration. So channel is this gap. Is it clear up to this? Students, tell me. Is it clear up to this? Yes?
Yes, sir.
So our main intention is providing a gate to source potential, in such a way that the negative electrode of that potential, here we are providing a DC potential means you are connecting a battery. You are just connecting a battery, nothing more or less than that. So connecting a battery means there will be two electrodes of a battery. The negative electrode will be connected with the gate terminal. The positive electrode will be connected with the source terminal. If this is the alignment of connected battery, then the VGS value, you increase the value of VGS, or rather you provide a specific value of VGS, there will be a creation of electric field perpendicular to that of the channel. So what is the direction of the electric field? It will be perpendicular to that of the channel. And this electric field will ultimately induce positive charge carriers within the channel. So induction of positive charge carriers happen. How it happens? If you just relate it in a much lucid way, then this negative electrode will attract positive or free electrons from the metal region towards the upper end of the upper surface of the metal. So that will ultimately repel, this will, here the symbol will not be the plus symbol, rather the minus symbol. So here free electrons, the negative electrode ultimately will attract positive charges, or it will repulse free electrons towards the other end of the metal surface. So if it repulses free electrons to the other end, so positive charge accumulation will be in the upper surface. If this happens, again these repelled free electrons will attract positive ions from the oxide layer towards it. This will again repel free electrons towards the other end of this oxide. Ultimately, positive charge carriers will get attracted towards these free electrons and start accumulating within the channel oxide interface. So ultimately, it will start accumulating towards the channel, because although this is an N-type substrate, there are a certain percentage of holes as well as a certain percentage of electrons. Why N-type? Because higher is the density of free electrons are higher than that of the hole. So ultimately, the charge carriers will start accumulating. Which kind of charge carriers? The positive charge carriers within the channel. You increase this VGS value further, higher will be the electric field intensity, higher will be the density of accumulated positive charge carriers. So ultimately, if you consider these source and the drain regions, as well as your intermediate, as well as this channel within it, what will be looking like after accumulation of positive carrier, it will just look like a ohmic conductor where positive charge carrier will be the current carrying particle. So it will be the ohmic conductor, it will act as a ohmic conductor. But ultimately this is not a ohmic material, it is a semiconductor material, and so it is a unipolar device. So one type of charge carriers will ultimately play the role of current flow, and so these are positive charge carriers. Now what you can tell, if you connect another source of battery with respect to the drain and the source, so this end will be considered as drain and this end as source. So if you connect another battery with respect to the drain and the source, and maybe the electrodes you can give it accordingly. Here, so what is this potential? VDS, the drain to source potential. So if you connect this kind of a drain to source potential, so here it is a positive electrode, here it is a negative electrode, so the direction. This positive electrode will repel the positive charge carrier towards the other end. So here this is the flow direction of hole or positive charge carrier. So if this is the flow direction of positive charge carrier, then this is also the direction of current flow. So this is the direction of current flow. What is this current? This current is named as the drain current or ID. The drain current flows through the channel from the source end towards the drain end. So what happens ultimately? If you look to this device structure, there will be a drain current flowing in this direction within the channel, mind you. So there will be a drain current flowing through this direction, and this is ID. So as what ID value will depend on the density of positive charge carriers within the channel. So within a cross-sectional area, what will be the number of positive charge carriers? Depending on that, the ID value will depend. So higher the value of VGS, higher will be the density of induced positive charge carriers within the channel, and higher will be the value of ID. So what we find, you graphically try to take this. This is ID, say milliampere, and if this is VGA, say we term it minus VGA in volts. We have this kind of a curve. So higher the value of VGA, higher will be the value of drain current. Higher will be the value of drain current. Now we can see one thing, that there is a certain gate to source potential, so certain VGS value above which the drain current increases exponentially. Above this value, the drain current suddenly increases exponentially. This VGS value is called the threshold potential or the threshold voltage. This is the threshold voltage. So threshold voltage or VTA, it is nothing but a gate to source potential. So this is a gate to source potential or gate to source voltage. So it is nothing but a gate to source voltage above which the drain current suddenly increases exponentially. So what is drain current? It is IT in milliampere. milliamps. Now, this drain current can only flow if you provide this gate to source potential, because for a ohmic conductor we know if there is a potential difference between two ends of the conductor, then only there is a current flow, otherwise there is no current flow. So you need to provide a gate to source potential. So you can get this curve provided VDS is a constant value. So mind it, this is not a variable potential, whereas the gate to source potential which we have connected in between the gate and the source terminal is a variable potential. So if you have this kind of a symbol, this is a variable potential. If you have this kind of a symbol, this is a constant potential. So variable potential and this is constant potential. Mind it, variable potential doesn't mean this is an alternating current. This is also a DC. So this is a DC potential source as well as this is also a DC potential source. But variable means you can have the liberty of varying the potential value. You can have the liberty of varying the potential value. That's it. If you can have the liberty of changing the potential stored in the battery, is variable, whereas for a constant you cannot have changes in the value. So VGS is a variable potential, whereas VDS, the drain to source potential, is a constant potential. Now, if you do not provide any VGS value, only provide VDS value, nothing will happen, because VGS is the determining factor. This is the control potential, which ultimately controls the creation of electric field intensity through this channel, perpendicular to that of the channel, and thereby inducing positive charge carriers within the channel. Once the positive charge carriers are induced, then only the effect of drain to source potential will ultimately create the flow of drain current to the channel. So you can control the value of the drain current by controlling the gate to source potential. So that's because gate to source potential is a variable potential. You can control its value. So it starts from 0 to a very high amount of value you can provide. But only after a certain value of VDS, you find the drain current suddenly increasing exponentially. Before that, drain current ideally should have been 0, but it maintained a very small value. So this value is due to the already available positive carrier within the channel due to leakage phenomena. So what is leakage phenomena? You do not have to understand right at this level, but due to the leakage phenomena, even when VGS equals to 0 or very less than VT8, then also there is a very small amount of drain current flowing. And this small amount of drain current is due to the already available positive charge carriers within the channel due to leakage phenomena. Now, you increase the value of VTS, there will be electric field intensity will increase, and thereby a higher density of positive charge carriers starts accumulating within the channel. And that ultimately increases its ID value exponentially when you provide a constant VDS, drain to source potential. Therefore, what is ultimately done? For MOS devices, first, physically it is created, physical construction is done. then provide a VGS, get to source potential. As you provide this, creation of an electric field perpendicular to that of the channel attends. This induces positive charge carrier within the channel. Increase of VGS shall increase the intensity of electric field and hence the density of charge carrier. What kind of charge carriers? Induced charge carrier within the channel. Now, attaching a constant VDS shall create a current flow to the channel. That is ID or drain current. Higher the value of VGS, higher shall be ID. Therefore, within MOSFET, one can control the current flow by controlling the gate to source potential. Right? So, a very important conclusion we can make. MOSFET, the first is three terms: metal, oxide, semiconductor. The three-layered device. Then FET, field effect transistor. What does this signify? Current flows through the transistor. Current flows through the transistor due to the effect of an electric field. This is what the device is. So the first three alphabets, MOS, are nothing but metal oxide semiconductor, relates with the manufacturing of the device, three-layered device. And the last three alphabets, field effect transistor, tells us how this device operates. The current flow through the device can be controlled or is due to the effect of the electric field, and of course, by controlling this electric field, you can control this current flow rate or the drain current value ID. Is it clear, students? Tell me where there is a confusion. Tell me if there is any confusion or not. Yes, students?
Sir, you have mentioned that if we increase the voltage of gate to source, then the overall ID increases. So, is the explanation like this, that if we increase the voltage between gate to source, then the positive holes in the channel increases, and then when we induce a fixed drain to source voltage, then the movement of the that induced positive holes in a single direction also increases the
I
current.
cannot hear your last word.
Sir, if we increase the voltage in the gate to source, then the number of positive holes within the channel is also high. So the induced positive charge within the channel is high. So after that, if we induce a fixed uh, source to drain voltage, then the movement of the holes in a single direction due to that induced charge will also increase the ID current.
What is I? What is I?
The current.
dq dt. I is nothing but dq dt. So how can you find this out? Within a cross-sectional area, what is the amount of holes? Then only if you divide that within the total time taken to move that hole from one end to other end, then you will be getting the value of current. That is the flow rate. That is what is flow rate is considered. Yes or no?
Yes, sir, flow rate.
Okay. So this is for a particular VGS value, which is a variable value. You increase the value of VGS within the cross-sectional area, there will be increase in the number of positive charge carriers. So this dq value increases. So higher will be the value of I. You increase the value of VGS, higher will be the intensity of electric field. This will induce more number of positive charge carriers within the channel. So if you take a cross section of the channel, higher will be the number of actual holes or positive charge carriers. So this dq value will suddenly increase as you increase the value of VGS. So higher will be the value of I. As simple as that.
Thank
Is
you,
it
sir.
still confusing?
No, no, not at all, sir. It's clear now.
Yes, louder, please. I cannot hear.
Sir, it's clear now, sir. There is no confusion anymore. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anyone else? So what we have exemplified in today's class, we have exemplified, if you view only the semiconductor portion of MOSFET, two P plus regions as source and drain. And this is a N-type substrate, N-type silicon. There is an oxide layer. There is a metal layer. And this source and drain potential was provided in this fashion. The negative electrode connected with the gate terminal and the positive electrode connected with the source terminal. This was our connectivity of the battery as well as the doping character of the semiconductor. 2p plus region and N-type substrate. If you change the whole thing in a reverse way, that means if you take a p-type substrate, create two N plus type region, the oxide you cannot change the polarity of the oxide as well as the metal. But again, you can change the polarity of the potential connected. Say a positive potential connected electrode connected with the gate and the negative electrode connected with the source. This is negative and this is positive. What you will find again, free electrons at this surface, positive charges in the opposite surface, again free electrons in this surface, or in other words, positive charges at the other end of the oxide, and this will attract free electrons within the channel. So the channel will be created not with holes. Here there was holes, but channel created with electrons. So here the channel is created with holes, and here the channel is created with electrons. As well as there are two N plus type regions. So if you take this, consider the ohmic conductor reference, full of free electrons, and now if you connect VDS, again the polarity you can change. So VDS. So this will be the direction of the current ID. The direction of the current also changes, but the flow of electrons is in a reverse direction. So always the direction of current is opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. So electron flow is in a reverse direction. So this end is source and this end is drain. So source and drain considerations are remaining the same. This end is source and this end is drain. Drain and this is source. So just changing few of the polarities and characteristics of the semiconductor, you can change the character of the channel from a p-type channel. This is a p-type channel, p channel, as the majority charge carriers are holes. This is the N channel, as the majority charge carriers are electrons. So this is nothing but the named as p-channel MOSFET, and this is the N-channel MOSFET. In more symbolic term, this is a NMOS, this is a PMOS device, and this is a NMOS device. So what kind of MOS device this structure is depends on what is the channel, whether it is P channel or N channel. So if this is a P channel, this is a PMOS device. If this is the N channel, this is a NMOS device. Is it clear?
Yes.
Everyone? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the lecture has been taken from the book of Integrated Electronics by Millman and Halkias. Millman and Halkias. This is a McGraw-Hill edition, MGH. So there are plenty of these books available in our library, but you cannot access the library unfortunately. So if any one of you have bought this book, usually for basic electronics also some of the faculties refer this book. So if you have this book, anyone, he or she can share it. Or ebook is available or not, I don't know. But ultimately the lecture, yesterday's lecture, today's lecture has been taken from Integrated Electronics by Millman and Halkias. One thing I do mention in all of my lecture iterations that if anyone did understand my lecture and can write it in his or her own words, that will be sufficient. That will be sufficient. Then if you do not move into the details of this book for the exam purpose, my lecture, if you can jot down it, try to understand, write it in your own words, use these diagrams for explaining, that is more than sufficient. Okay? So I shall be stopping my lecture, today's lecture up to this. To go through this lecture, try to recapitulate this. If you find any confusions, we can discuss in the next class, and as well as we will move ahead with further discussions of these MOS devices in our next class. Maybe another couple of classes we will engage ourselves within the semiconductor understanding of the device, and then we will be turning towards the circuit design. Very interesting. But before you move to the circuit design, you need to have some basic idea of this semiconductor operation of the device so that the circuits can be designed at more ease and efficiency. Just by when you get an Boolean expression, you can be able to design the device. So at that level of expertise, by the end of the semester, each and every one of you will attain. Okay. Thank you, students.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.